welcome to episode 50 of the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. My name is Ali and I live in Kent in the UK with my husband and our two daughters. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Starry Eyes Ali, and show notes for this podcast and all of my podcasts. Well, not all of my podcasts under this video, but all of my podcasts have show notes for that corresponding video underneath. Oh dear, what a good start. Show notes are underneath this video along with timestamps for all the different sections, so you can see in advance what I'm going to be yabbering on about. What else? Thank you to all the new subscribers and old subscribers. There's been quite a few of you come to join me over the month of October because I was doing Vlogtober, so thank you to everybody who came along and watched those. I love doing vlogs. We'll definitely be doing Vlogmas because I think the kids would kill me if I didn't, because they absolutely love it when I do vlogs. So they're really excited to do Vlogmas. So we'll definitely be back to do that. And thank you to everyone who watched Vlogtober and who subscribed and joined us. Welcome. This is the first proper podcast in a little while, since September. So I've got a bit to talk about, but I'm gonna do another podcast next week or the week after, before Vlogmas anyway. So I'm gonna leave some stuff out to talk about next time. I have had a fairly, it's been nice to sort of recover from doing the daily vlogs and have a bit of a quiet time, except it's not been quiet because I've been running around working. I work part-time for a museum. It's been pretty busy and I've been trying to get everything ready for Phoebe's birthday. She turns 9 at the end of this month, and also trying to get everything settled for Christmas. I was also, and if you see me looking a little bit stiff with my neck, I was in a car accident last Wednesday, so just a week and a day ago. I was sitting at traffic lights, minding my own business, when somebody crashed into me at what felt like a million miles an hour. But it wasn't, because she had crashed into me from stationary herself. She thought the lights had changed and just went. It really hurt. My car has been written off, but it's only got a very small amount of damage. So what they actually do is give you the market value of your car pre-accident, less a little bit, and then I just have to get it MOT'd and fixed. So my car is currently in the garage having its MOT, so that it's safe to drive, and I can submit that to my insurer, and I will then go about getting it fixed once I've got the money from the person's insurers. Very boring. This is a very boring way to start the podcast. Anyway, the point is I really hurt my neck in that accident. I do have a bit of whiplash. It's causing me headaches. Oh, I meant to take some paracetamol actually. I'm going to pause in a minute and go and take some paracetamol. And it's made my neck on the left side really stiff, so I'm really having problems sleeping as well. And yes, I do have legal cover, so I will be talking to a doctor and everything like that, but I'm not seriously injured. It could have been so much worse, and actually in the great scheme of things, I'm probably going to come off all right. So I just didn't want to get rid of my car because my dad bought it for me before he died last year. So yeah, that's the story of my car accident. Not very interesting. Shall we get stuck in to finished objects? I have loads, so I'm just going to go and take some paracetamol, take a sip of my tea, and then come back and crack on. Okay, paracetamol has been consumed, and I'm sure that talking about all the lovely yarny stuff and a nice cup of tea are going to sort this headache right out. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finished things to share with you. That's what happens when it's over a month. No, almost 2 months since I last podcast. By the way, as well, I was supposed to get my hair cut today, because you may have noticed it's got very long, and I didn't want to dye it before I had it cut, because I'd end up having to use 2 boxes of dye, so I was waiting to get it cut, so I'm very grey as well, and I had to cancel that because my car's in the garage, so I couldn't get myself there. I've also still got a bit of a cough. Alright, Dan's cowl is my first finished object. Oh, got a nice view of my grey hair there. I was making this for him. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it to him for his anniversary present, because that's at the end of this month as well, or save it and give it to him for Christmas. It's getting quite cold, so he might need it now. I made him the Handbrake Cowl, which is, I haven't blocked this. It's a pattern by Kay Jones, and I think Dan Jones as well, of the Bakery Bears. The yarn is Malabrigo Worsted. Do I have the thingy-me-jig? The yarn is Malabrigo Worsted. I don't have the ball band, but I can tell you it's in the colourway Garden Gate, and that's what it looks like. It's a really nice sort of bluey green colour, which is what Dan likes. It's all been living in my Butternut Handmade bag, which I absolutely love. This was a gift last year from Conchetta, and she's donated one of the prizes for the Strictly Sock Along this year as well. I think it's in the prizes thread on Ravelry. And is there anything else I need to say? No, I made it on 4.5mm needles. The pattern is free. I'll just put my notes there so I can lean forward to show you. Hopefully, I'm doing this blind. I've got no mirror behind the camera, so hopefully you can see the pattern. That it's a very simple pattern repeat to do. It's very enjoyable. This is the second time I've made this because I made an identical one last year and Dan lost it within maybe 2 weeks of having it. He dropped it in London. So it just goes to show how much I love him by making the same thing again. And I intend to put one of Barbara Knitting I Love's little tags on. I don't have any to show. I'm going to go and grab my cowl that I've been wearing today to show you what I mean. So this is my Tunisian crochet cowl. And this is one of Barbara's little tags, which you can just put on to sort of make it look professional and finished. And you can get them with different designs on as well. So I'm going to pop one of those on this as well. And I'm tempted to sew a label in it with our home address in case he drops it again. Anyway, that's my first finished object. My next finished object is Lilia's socks. So I was making socks for Lilia. This is for her Christmas Eve box. So I've got into the habit now of making my girls socks to give to them on Christmas Eve. And I'm pretty sure I've written it all down. Lilia's rainbow socks. Okay, so the yarn is Regia Pairfect Rainbow Colour. It's that one. It was a gift from Annette in Denmark. She's a viewer of this podcast, sent me some lovely things from one of my most favourite places in all the world, Denmark, where she's very lucky enough to live, because that is where she is from. She sent me some yarn to make the girls some socks. So I got 2 balls of this. No, it would have been 4 balls of it because each ball was 50. Oh no, it's 1 ball because you can separate it to make an identical pair of socks. And they're slightly different, but both rainbow colours. Doing a really bad job of explaining this. And Lilia wanted knee-high socks, or as long as I could get them. So I just did them toe up so I could keep going until I basically ran out of yarn. I used Judy's Magic Cast On, and I did 10 pairs of the little stitches for Judy's Magic Cast On. I'm just going to have a drink to stop me coughing. And I increased up to 64 stitches. So what you do is you do the cast on, which you do in pairs. I did 10 pairs. I knit the first round, and then I increased every other round up to 64 stitches. I used 2.25mm needles, and in total, I did 66 rounds on the feet. I then did the heel for Mina Phillips Vanilla Socks pattern with 2 repeats of the mini heel flap adjustment that she includes in that, to give a bit more space in the instep. And then after the heel, and I got back to the original stitch count, I worked for 125 long rounds for the leg. And then I did 22 rounds for the cuff. I did the cuff a bit longer than usual because obviously it would look a bit funny to have a short cuff on such a long sock. And this is them. Now obviously it's a bit hard to show you because I can't put them on blockers. And I can't get Lilia to put them on to show you because she doesn't know I finished them. She's probably forgotten. And she won't get them till Christmas Eve. So I will keep my Ravelry updated with these, and you'll be able to see them in action when she gets them, probably on Instagram and on my Ravelry page. But I think that's everything you need to know about those. I'm really, really pleased with them. They were good fun to make. And yeah, really good fun. And they, I did try them on her as I was going. So probably the last time I tried them on her was about here, because I just wanted to make sure if I would need to increase to go around her calves. But it seemed like I wouldn't need to. They stretched just fine. So yeah, those are Lilia's finished rainbow socks. The longest socks I've ever made. So moving on to Phoebe's leg warmers. So she, instead of socks, wanted leg warmers made with her rainbow yarn. It's been living in my bag that Sophie from the Spring Snowflake podcast gave to me. I really love this bag because it's not got interfacing in it, so it literally you can squidge it down like that, and it fit. I was knitting a lot on these when we went to Scotland, and it fit in the car door really well, and I could just sort of knit out of it. It's got this lovely yellow lining as well, and it's got poppers which make the most satisfying sound in the world. It's like bubble wrap. Just do that all day. So Phoebe wanted leg warmers. So, oh, how many times can I say so? How many times can I say so? The pin on there, by the way, is from Rachel at SewRayMe. Just breathe. I hope you can see that because I can't see what I'm showing you. So this is the same yarn. It's Regia Pairfect. But this time it's got no pink in it. It's just a pure rainbow colour. Lilia's got the pink in. And I had to make this up. So I've got this little notebook that was also given to me by Sophie. It says it's all worth it. So I kept this in the bag, and I kept all my notes for what I did for working out Phoebe's leg warmers. I'll show you them in a minute, but this is what I did. No, I'll show you them now and then I'll tell you what I did. Here they are. I've just finished them. And I used, so the cast on edge is this edge. I used the double start Estonian cast on, which I use for almost everything these days. I really enjoy doing it, and I think it gives a pretty edge. It's called, it's got different names. The Estonian cast on, or the double start cast on, or the double start Estonian cast on. So that's the cast on edge. And then the cast off edge I did using Kay Jones' tutorial. For the long, she calls it the long tail cast off, and it's in the tutorials they do for Patreons. Now hers looked lovely, mine just looks like a usual messy mess of a toe up cast off. I don't like it at all. So I don't know if I didn't pull the yarn snug enough as I was doing it. I can see it has potential to look good, but the way I've done it, it doesn't. So maybe I just needed to pull it tighter. That said, once it's all stretched out and on your leg, who cares? No one's going to notice. And I did this until I did basically 2 repeats of the colour, red to dark blue. I've got a little bit left, maybe about 15 grams left of each, but I couldn't really do them any longer. They would have been too long for her. So that's Phoebe's leg warmers. And the way I worked it out for fitting her was, so basically the pattern is a 2x4 rib. So I'm doing 2 purl stitches and 4 knit stitches around. I cast on, here's what I did. I measured Phoebe's leg at the widest point, which was 10.5 inches. I then did a swatch on 2.57mm needles in a 4x2 rib. The gauge when stretched out was 5.5 stitches per inch. I then times that by the widest point, so 10.5 by 5.5, and I got 57.75, and I rounded that up to the nearest divisible by 6 because I was doing 4 knit 2 purl, and that was 60, and I felt that might be too many, so I rounded it down to the the nearest divisible by 6, which was 54. You following? And then I used a double start Estonian cast on, and now I don't know how many rounds I actually did because I was doing it by colour more than rounds, so I couldn't really tell you, but I remember that each colour was about 15 rounds apart from the first one, so that'd be 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120, 135, 150, and then, so it's about 150 plus 20, so about 170 rounds maybe. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those. They look really funny and narrow, but when you put them on, I'll put them on my arm to show you. They come out like that. I really like them. yeah, so Phoebe is very excited about the prospect of getting them, but she's not going to get them until Christmas Eve. That's my next finished object. Okay, moving on because I know that I'm rambling. I have not got my sock blockers downstairs with me, which is annoying, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you these without my sock blockers. I've already worn these and then I've washed them and then blocked them again because I wanted to wear them on Halloween. These are my Halloween socks. I made up the pattern really. I'll tell you what I did. They are cuff down socks. I didn't make up the pattern. It's not a pattern, it's just socks. 2.25mm DPNs. I cast on 64, which is quite a lot for me. I normally stick to around the 56-60 mark. I did a 1x1 twisted rib using the Estonian cast on. I did 2 rows in the purple and then I did 13 in the main colour. I did 55 rounds on the leg, and then for the heel I did 32 rows, but I slipped the first stitch of each row and knit everything, so it's like a garter stitch heel thing. And I used the heel turn instructions from Ellie, who is Craft House Magic. I used her candy cane socks pattern to do the heel turn, but I did it in garter stitch. And then for the foot there was 44 rounds and then 1 round of purple before starting the decreases, also from the candy cane socks. God, this is all very technical. I feel very organised. It's not normally this good. If it helps, I haven't cut the ends. So these are my socks. They do look shorter than usual, but they're not. I think the garter heel gives them a good stretch. And it was really interesting to do that. The Fab-u-lous yarn is called Witchy Long Stockings, and it is by Green Lambkin Yarns. And honestly, it is beautiful. It was beautiful when I was balling it up on the blockers, and it's beautiful knit up as well. And you can see how lovely it looks just in plain stockinette, and how lovely it looks when you do it in the garter stitch, like on the heels. The garter stitch heel gives such an amazingly neat pickup, but, and I don't know if it's just because I was making this up and I didn't follow any instructions and did it wrong, it does create a slight ridge on the inside where you pick it up. Which isn't a huge problem. In fact, I can't feel them at all, apart from on one sock. It must be a bit ridgier than the other ones. But yeah, these are going to be my Halloween socks, but really you could wear them all year round. The purple, by the way, was a gift from Purple Rain 67, lovely Lorraine. She sent that to me quite some time ago, and it's really beautiful, and it couldn't be a better match. And I've still got plenty left over as well. And I've got quite a bit of this yarn left over, the Witchy Long Stockings yarn. So I have cast on another project with it, which I will not show you because we are not doing works in progress. We are on finished objects, and I will stick to the programme. That is my next finished object. Okay, my next one is the Tchaikovsky hat, which I feel like I just finished an age ago. And Phoebe has been desperately wanting to wear it. In fact, it's almost finished. I've made one of these before in exactly the same yarn. I had enough yarn left to make another one, so I did. And having made 2 hats, this is what I've got left of the yarn. It's a DK yarn from Mint Bee. There's no colourway name. I bought it at Festival in 2018. I originally bought it for a different project, and then decided to make the Tchaikovsky hat because the pattern was gifted to me by Alison. Thank you, Alison. I've now made 2 of them, and I'm going to make more. It is a 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere yarn. It's their Bee Blissful base. It is gorgeous. In fact, when I next go to a yarn festival, I'm going to pick up another skein of this because it's perfect for hats. This one is almost exactly the same as the one I made previously for me. Phoebe wanted to steal it, so I made her one of her own, and I've got a pom-pom to go on top of it. Just seeing people walking past, but I think they're posting Christmas cards. That's what it looked like they were doing. It's a bit early though, isn't it? Yeah, so I've got this pom-pom. My one's got a pom-pom, but it's a lighter colour. But yeah, that's going to look amazing. And I've got one of the tags on it from Barbara. This one has got hearts on, just to finish it off. So I'm going to put it on to show you. Putting it on with no mirror, so I probably look insane. was just looking in the, I was looking in the mirror, and then I ended up sitting on a pom-pom. Oh, let's clear this up a bit. Yeah, so this is the Tchaikovsky hat. It's got a little bit of bagginess in the back. It could have more, I suppose, but it doesn't. It's really lovely. The yarn is lovely and warm. I can't hear you because it's over my ears. I mean, I can't hear myself, obviously. I can't hear you because you're out there on the webosphere. Yeah, so really, really pleased with it. The yarn is gorgeous, and I'll definitely be getting more of it and making more. How mad is my hair? Okay, so I now just need to, there is a little bit of elastic on this pom-pom somewhere, which I just need to find. There it is, and then I will put some of the leftover yarn through that, and I will just tie it on in a bow on the inside, so that when it comes to having to wash this, I can wash it and just take the pom-pom off. So that's the Tchaikovsky hat. Oh, by the way, I also did oh, hang on, it says Norwegian cast on for that. Oh, I did the Norwegian cast on for that. Now I'm confusing myself because I thought it was the Estonian cast on, but I've written Norwegian. I'm gonna have to go and look up what the difference is. Anyway, it's a really pretty cast on, whatever it is. Really pretty. And it's a pattern by Helen Stewart. Oh, and thanks for all the hat suggestions that everyone gave me in the last episode. I have decided I've got a few hat patterns in my library that I had entirely forgotten about. So I've decided I'm probably going to do one of those, but I'm going to get a lot of other stuff finished before I cast on anything new at the moment. Right, what's my next finishing? Oh, yellow pot scrubbies. Where did I put that? By the way, are you impressed that I've got a podcasty candle? I was very organised. I thought, I'm going to do a professional looking podcasty candle. Okay. Ugh. Let's throw that down there. Okay, pot scrubbies. I've only brought one along because all the rest are packed up ready to go out as gifts, or I've got one up in the bathroom as well. I got this Red Heart Scrubby Sparkle yarn, which was a gift from Melissa at Atomic Ranch Yarns. She sent this to me quite some time ago. Oh, good morning, Mr. Magpie. How's your lady wife? There was a magpie landed on the telegraph pole on the opposite side of the road, literally right in my eye line. I'm telling you, they come to taunt me. Yes, so the Scrubby Sparkle yarn, and I found a really good pattern on Bee Hooked Crochet website. It's free, and it's called the Crochet. It's a crochet set. It's a pot, scrubby, and a cloth. And I will put the link in the show notes below to it. And yeah, it was really, really good. And from the feel of this yarn, it's really quite. It's not hard at all. It kind of feels like exfoliating. Oh, there's someone coming up the driveway. Marvellous. I don't think they are posting Christmas cards. I think they're posting leaflets about an event at the social club, because I recognise that lady. We have a village social club just almost opposite us, and they do lots of events throughout the year, like quiz nights and you know, New Year's Eve party for everyone in the area, and just, you know, car rallies and little events like that. Where was I? Yes, so I'll put the link to it below. You can use these in the kitchen or in the bath. So we've got one up, we tested one in the bath, and it's really, really lovely as a kind of like, almost like an exfoliating sponge. Obviously it's yellow and sparkly, so yay for that. You can get this in the UK. You can get it on Amazon. It's about £5 to £8 depending on what colour you get. And I've got some other scrubby type yarn that's slightly different, so I'm going to give it a test run with that yarn as well. Yeah, really, really pleased with these. They were really fun to make, really, really quick, really simple, and a lovely little gift, I think, to throw in when sending things to people. Right, my final finished thing is not something I've knitted or crocheted. It is yarn that I dyed. Now, if you were with me for Vlogtober, you would have seen me doing this. I followed a tutorial that Cherie did from the Ollie and Bella podcast. She showed everyone how she dyed yarn and a bag with avocados. Now I didn't have many because I don't eat a lot of avocados. I had maybe the skins of 2 or 3 avocados and one very decrepit old wrinkled little stone, and I got so much dye out of those, it was unbelievable. And I dyed some pure wool yarn that I'd bought in a big hank at a festival, and it had a slight grey tone to it, and I dyed it this and I got a really good pink colour. I just used alum as the mordant, and I've got so much dye left over, and the colour's growing on me. I have to say, I didn't really like it at first, but since it's dried, I really do quite like it. It's a very soft, natural, kind of dusty pink. It is quite a rusticy yarn. It wouldn't be any good for socks because it's got no nylon in. It might be nice for a hat, maybe, but I don't really think it's a colour that suits me. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm not sure whether I'm going to gift it or do it as a prize or make something and then gift it. I don't know, but I'm very pleased with it. And I will link the tutorial that I used underneath this video. Okay, works in progress. Moving on. Dan's socks. Dan's socks are living in my bag by Coco and Flora. I love this bag so much. I've got a load of stitch markers here because I'm putting them on to keep me on track with how many rounds I'm doing. But I'll show you there's a little umbrella one that came with the bag. So lovely. And inside it's all polka dot, and she's got a little pocket in there, and it's got her little Coco and Flora label. And I'm making Dan's socks in here. I'm doing quite well. I've got my DPN holder by Suzanne inside number 22. I'm using extra long DPNs, which I have to admit is a bit of a pain, but there's quite a lot of stitches on here, so it does help. The yarn it's Grundle Hot Socks Pearl Colour with Cashmere in the colour 8. There it is. And it shows you how it works up as well. There you go. And it's colour. Ooh, it's colour 8. You don't need to see the number 8. You can take my word for it. I've got this much left of the first sock, so I'm hoping I've got enough to get me to the toe when I will change to the contrasting blue. And this is how it looks. So the first sock, I have done the heel flap and the heel turn, and I'm back to my original stitch count, and I'm working my way down towards the toe. Dan probably would have liked these to be slightly longer, but I was really worried that I wasn't going to have enough yarn to do it. So I will weigh it and see how much I have left at the end, and I'll know more then for next time. I'm also starting to slightly go off doing contrast heels, just because I've noticed that my socks that I wear, my most comfortable socks, and the ones that feel nicest and last longer, are the ones where I haven't added in a contrast heel. I think possibly that's me, because I'm not doing it quite correctly, or maybe I'm not weaving in the ends properly. I don't know, but I just find where I've kept it all in the same yarn, my socks that I've made me are lasting longer. Not that the other ones aren't lasting, but you get what I mean. But yeah, they're really, really nice. Dan wanted socks out of these as soon as he saw this yarn, which I'd bought on a whim at the first Southern Wool Show. So I'm hoping to have them finished for Christmas, but you know, man feet. And I'm only up to here on the first sock. So I think what I'm going to do is stop with the second sock, get past the heel and the gusset decreases on this one, and then it's just plain sailing to the end. Whether or not they'll be ready in time for Christmas, who knows. Oh, and this DPN holder, by the way, is by Rachel at SewRayMe. And she made this for me at my request because I wanted one for the longer DPNs. Yeah, so that's Dan's socks. Nothing else much to say about those, other than they're just cuff down socks. And oh, what heel did I use? I must have used a heel. Just look at my sock notebook and see if I've said no. Socks for Dan. It's just a blank page. Have I got any notes in here? Sometimes I just write it down on a bit of paper. Oh, here, look. And shove it in the bag so I can remember what I did for the second sock. Oh no, I've just literally, oh, it's the heel turn from the candy cane socks again. So I obviously like that heel turn, Ellie. Okay, my next work in progress is my new cast on that I nearly spoke about in the wrong section earlier. It is, I decided to cast on straight away so that I've got it on the go. Another pair of socks using the leftover yarn for my Halloween socks. So I've got the purple, which was the gift from Lorraine, and I've got the remaining yarn, the witchy long stockings from Green Lampkin Yarns. Did I say it was Green Lampkin Yarns before? Suzanne at Green Lampkin Yarns gave me the witchy long stockings yarn last Halloween, and she also donated another colourway as a prize for the Strictly Sock Along, and she's done the same again this year. She's donated her Fright Night, I think it's a Fright Night colourway, which I'll be showing you later, as a prize for this year's Strictly Sock Along. God dear, I've never known it to be so busy walking past in the street until I'm sitting here with a camera pointing at me in my living room. Right, this is the witchy long stockings, and I decided that because I had enough left to do just some shorty socks, I cast on to do just that. So I have done this is how far I've got. I mean, when I say I've cast on, this is how far I've got on one sock. So I've done the purple. I think I've done 3 or 4 rows of the purple, and I'm just 1 row into the main colour now. And they're literally just going to be shorty socks. I'll maybe do 10 rounds and then do the heel flat. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm going to be using my DPN holder from Cherie at Ollie and Bella, and my DPN holder by Naomi of Cozy Cute Knits. And it's all living in this lovely bag. Oh, hang on. Here's the card for Green Lampkin Yarns. I'll just show you this as well. So this is Green Lampkin Yarn. There we go. And that is the details for the witchy long stockings. I'm not sure if she's got any of this at the moment, but she's got fabulous colourways in her shop. And then the bag is by Oh So Pretty, who's Michelle. This is her details. And she's also donating one of these as a prize for the Strictly Sock Along. So someone's going to win one of these. Perfect. Glittery fabric. Beautiful golden water and petals on the flowers. And the lovely swans. And look, the little tags have got the little glitter as well. So that's perfect. It's really, really lovely. Perfect sock size. Okay. Oh, so many things to talk about. My head is still thumping. Oh, I hope I'm not giving you a headache with all this yabbering on. Okay, I'm going to do it in the order that I've written it down on my notes. Living in my fabulous owl bag, which was a gift from our Minty in Canada. I've even got my little Canada stitch marker there. I've also got a bird that I bought at the village fair last year, and I've got my fabulous lobster keyring that moves. All on here. And in here is Luna. This is what I'm making for Phoebe's birthday. So I said I was going to attempt it, and I am. So I'm making Luna Lapin. I've made good inroads. I won't say I'm finding it the easiest thing. Sewing is not my forte. However, I've got everything cut out, and I have 2 legs. So this is the legs. This was really fun to sew. It's so fun to over sew felt together, very satisfying. And this is the fabric that I chose as the fabric to go on her feet and ears, which is really nice. This fabric was a gift from my friend Lorraine, who is Consciously Crochet, and I just thought it was lovely because Phoebe's a big fan of blue and purple. She's not a big fan of pink, and I just thought that was really, really lovely. So those are the legs, so cute. And then I've also done both of the arms. Whoops. So the arms are here, look, and they've even got little thumbs sewn in like that. So they're all good to go. And then the next thing I've got to do is construct the head with the ears inside it. Where are the blooming ears? What have I done with the ears? Hang on a moment. Oh, here they are. So these are the ears that are going to go. So again, they've got that lovely blue fabric. So the next thing I need to do is get the ears into the head and make the head. And hopefully it won't work up too slowly. And then I'm going to need to make a couple of items of clothing, which is probably where I'm going to come unstuck. And Phoebe's birthday's in 2 weeks' time, so I really do need to get a bit of a shift on with that. I'm hoping to get a bit of time to work on that next week. So yeah, that is Luna Lapping in progress. And a couple of viewers of this podcast have been kind enough to send me some clothes for Luna, so thank you so much to both of you. That is so special, and I will give them to Phoebe on her birthday for her to open, and she is going to be so thrilled and excited, that because she loves the fact that people watch and that they care enough to want to send things like that, and that is going to just make her day. So thank you so much for doing that, ladies. Yeah, right, my favourite jeans top. I'm rolling my eyes because I'm annoying myself with this. I did really well in the early part of Vlogtober with trying to sort out the problems I was having with getting it to fit, and I had to add some extra rows along the top to increase the armholes. And now my next mission is to get the arms that I've already made to fit in the gap. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, that's the back, that's the mesh back, that's the front. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know, I guess I was just kind of a bit worried about how it was looking. I wasn't entirely happy with the modifications that I had made, because I had to add some rows up here to like increase it. And therefore I had to do a row across here, and to make it look neat I had to do some white, and then it's just been really problematic because I've had problems with gauge and I've just not done very well with this. And I really do want to finish it, but it's just causing me such grief, and because I've got a headache most of the time at the moment, I just can't think about it. So it's in a timeout, because you have to be in the right frame of mind. At the beginning of Vlogtober, I was really in that frame of mind for solving it and getting on with it and just doing it. And now that things are quite busy with life, I think that you just kind of think, right now I'm too busy with solving the problems of life and planning and plotting and trying to get things done, that you can't devote the headspace to problem solving a project. And I'm not saying it's not, I'm not enjoying it. I am. I enjoy that process of trying to work it out, and I'll be thrilled when I finally do it. But I just don't have the headspace for it at the moment. The pattern is my favourite jeans top. It's by Natalie Thomas of Detroit Knots. I've got a really, really badly printed copy here. So you won't be able to see much at all. But you can see there's Natalie at the top in hers, and I think that's one of her test knitters there in hers, but it doesn't really show you very well, obviously, because it's in very faded black and white, my printer at work. But hers looks amazing, really amazing, and I've not done such a good job. But I'm going to persevere. It's all living in my lovely bag from Claudia of Crochet Luna, my partner in crime when we do the dodgy bag make along. We've done that for 2 years, the last 2 years. Yeah, so it will one day be a finished, completed top. But today is not that day. Okay, that's moving on to my final finished object that oh no, hang on. I've got written here, crochet seal with issues. Okay. Okay, my crochet seal has issues. I love the Zumigurumi books, as you know, I've talked about them before, and I really wanted to make this lovely seal on the front of Zumigurumi 8 because I thought that just looks so simple, and I know I've got grey cotton. I'm going to definitely make that. So I started, and then I realised that I don't have enough because it's mahoosif. It's all living in this crochet basket bag I made, which I call my Hannah bag because it's inspired by Hannah of Hannah from Sheep's Alley. I'm using Drops Musket, which is a DK colour, and this is colour 19, and I'm using a 3mm hook to produce quite a tight fabric, which is what I like to do when I make amigurumi. So you can see this is the head. I've still got the body to complete and I've run out of yarn. So I think I'm really pleased with how he's looking. He's going to be really cute. So I'm definitely going to finish him, but I need to order more yarn. So I either need to find somewhere locally where I can just go and buy the drops musket. I don't know if Hobbycraft do it, I haven't looked yet. Or order it online and do it that way. But he is going to be cute, and I've got the eyes, and it's just going to be lovely. But I was just annoyed that I ran out of the yarn. I thought I'd be able to do it from stash. So that is my crochet seal with issues. What next then? Oh right, yes, another whip with issues. Well, they're my issues, not the whip's issues. My colourwork mittens that I was working on in October. So it's all been living in this bag, which is a bag by Mrs S Creations. And I've got all of my favourite pins on here. I really love this bag. And the pattern is the, I don't know if this, oh no, you're not going to be able to see. I don't think I've got an overall picture of it. It is the Spooky Mitts Mystery Cowl pattern by Hannah of Hannah from Sheep's Alley. Now I've completed one mitten bar the thumb. So you can, and I've even done the beadwork that she's done. So you can see you've got spooky faces at the bottom, and then you've got weeping willows and fruit trees, and then it all closes with fir trees at the top. It's really, really lovely, and there is some cabling in the cuff as well. But I think I really messed up on my gauge because, as you can see, I've got freakishly small hands, and these are too small even for me and for Phoebe. So I think and I have sort of tried to block it a bit and stretch it out, but it just didn't work. I really enjoyed doing it, and I really love the colours I've chosen. So I think what I'm going to do is, as much as it pains me to do so, I'm just going to look at it as a lesson, and I'm going to rip it back, and I'm going to do them again, and I'm going to do them again. I'm going to see what gauge I've got with this. I haven't measured it to see what the problem was, how far out I was, and then I think it'll just be a case of going up a needle size and re-swatching. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to start again. Which is upsetting because I really did enjoy doing it, and doing the beads was quite fiddly. But there's no point in me making another one if it's going to be too small, and I might as well make them again. And do you know what? I might even switch out. I might change up the colours a bit because I would like to be able to see the scary faces a bit more. So I might just have a think about that grey colour and maybe make that something that the blue will pop from a bit better. So having made it, it gives me a chance to look at it and think, right, what would I do slightly differently? But it's a really good pattern, of course, because it's Hannah's pattern. And she's really good at that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to finish them because I really enjoyed it, and I really do want to practice my colour work, and I really want to make these particular mittens. So watch this space. That's another problem solving one, which I can't do with a post-car accident headache. Right, now, my final finished object, really this time, is my Strictly socks. It's living in my llama bag, which was part of a swap I did with Sarah, who is Sarah One Daisy last year. I love it. And the yarn, oh, I've got extra yarn in here that's nothing to do with my Strictly socks. This is Lemon Drizzle by Little French Meadow. And I'm going to make the wildflower and honeycomb socks with this in the new year. So I've obviously just put it in there ready. Okay, getting ahead. My Strictly socks are looking like this. This is my Cocoa and Flora Cloud DPN holder. And this is a DPN holder by Suzanne, who I mentioned earlier, of Inside number 22. Here are my socks. I'm pretty much at the same level on both socks. I'm about to do the heel. The pattern I could not be more chuffed with for, like, do you know when you just choose the right pattern for the yarn? That is what has happened. I'm so chuffed. So the yarn is, it's a disaster, darling, which is a quote of Craig, who is one of the judges on the UK Strictly Come Dancing. It is so stunning. And it came with the contrast blue. It was a sock set. It's by Little French Meadow. It's one of their Strictly colours from last year. And that pattern Can you see that pattern? It is, I'll show you. It's by Sweet Lavender Knits. Again, it's a dodgy black and white copy, I'm afraid. It's called the Downtown Shorties, and Sweet Lavender Knits is Christine Gladwin. I think this is her first pattern. You're not going to be able to see it. You can just see that they're shorty socks because it's such a bad copy. And I think this is her first pattern. And somebody on my Instagram had messaged me and said, oh, look at this pattern. She's offering it up. I think she was doing it for free for a certain amount of time. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and have a look. Then I realised she had a podcast, and she's so lovely. And then I was looking at it thinking, because I'd wanted to do shorty socks for my Strictly socks, because I know how rubbish I am at keeping up with it. And Lilia needs some new shorty socks because she wears the ones I made her all the time. So I wanted to make them for her and then maybe have enough time to do another pair for Phoebe. So the fact that they were shorty socks really sold it to me as well. But I can't believe how beautifully the pattern is showing off the yarn, because I'm getting that really nice sort of variegated colour in the stockinette parts, but in the slip stitches it's almost like fading from one colour to the next. It could not be a more perfect yarn and pattern combination. I've now said that about 100 times, I know. But I am thrilled with these, absolutely thrilled. And I've paused at this point because obviously I need to do the heel, so I need a little bit of space and time to do that. Yeah, so those are my Strictly socks. So I think that leads me on nicely. So we talk about the Strictly sock along. So we announce some winners, show you some prizes, and remind you of a few things. Okay, Strictly Sock Along 2019, and backed by popular demand, is my 10 paddle Strictly! Yeah! So for new subscribers who may not know, the Strictly Sock Along is in its 3rd year now. We knit socks during the period of time that Strictly Come Dancing is on in the UK. Initially, I did it just for me, for fun. I knit a pair of vanilla socks during the course of Strictly, and I only knit them when Strictly was on. And then the next year, I sort of said, oh, does anyone want to join in? And everyone did, so we got some prizes, and it became quite a big thing, and it was really good fun. And then it became fun to kind of cheat as much as we could. So, because not everyone has Strictly Come Dancing, not everyone watches Strictly Come Dancing, and because Strictly Come Dancing is so silly and so fun and not at all serious, and it does not take itself seriously either, cheating became the thing. So rule bending is very much encouraged in this sock along. You just have to be able to justify it as to why you are allowed to knit your Strictly socks when you have. And that is one of the best parts about it. So that is the Strictly Sock Along. It runs from September until January. You've got plenty of time, so it's really great if you're a prolific sock knitter. You can make loads of socks and be in with lots of chances of winning. If you are not so much a prolific sock knitter, blah, 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 blah. Stop trying to say long words. If you're a new sock knitter and you're just learning, you have got plenty of time to make a pair of socks, because you've got what, September, October, November, December, you've got almost like 4.5 months to make a pair of socks. So everyone can join in, which is one of the really good things about it. There are beautiful socks all over the shop in the finished objects thread and in the chatter thread. The chatter thread is bonkers. It's so funny. I do dip in there and read what everyone's saying, but I am woefully bad at keeping up. But to be honest, I don't think you need me in there. You seem to be having a whale of a time. It's really, really lovely to see how many of you are really like making friends and having a real giggle in that chatter thread. And there are, I think I checked this morning, and so far in the finished objects thread, there are 151 pairs of finished Strictly socks in the thread, which is amazing. 151 brand new sparkly Strictly socks, forever imbued with the magic of Strictly, are out in the world, which I just think is fantastic. And that is people who are experienced sock knitters and people who have just made their very first pair of socks or are in the process of making them. It's amazing, and I feel very, very lucky to be part of such a lovely event, knitting event, and also we get some really lovely prizes donated for it, and I am very, very grateful to each and every one of you that has done that. A lot of you have done that, even if you don't, like if you are not a person who sells yarn or bags. Some people have just put together prizes just for the fun of it. It's just incredible. So thank you to all of the makers, dyers, designers, and just all round lovely humans who have joined in to offer prizes. Oh, and while I'm on it, there is also a discount code running in Sandra Paul's Ravelry store. So Sandra Paul is of the Cherry Heart podcast, and she is offering 15% off all of her sock patterns for the duration of the Strictly Sock Along, and the code that you need to use is LDW SSAL19. So that stands for Little Drops of Wonderful Strictly Sock Along 19. It's on the screen. The last lot of winners were the 10 from Len winners, and they were announced in October. And I think everybody's got their prizes now, except for you, Monica. I haven't sent it yet. I will be sending it soon. I do apologise for that. But let me know if you haven't received it. And the next ones to draw are the Halloween winners, which I shall do in one moment. Don't forget to use the hashtag, because we will be drawing winners from Instagram for certain prize categories this year. All of the rules are on Ravelry. The links are all below this video. It's been such a good show, as usual. I've loved it. I never know who half the people are at the beginning, but that does not matter to me, because they could quite frankly just get members of the public to do it and I'd be happy. Because by the end, you think, you get to know people, don't you? And you get to know what they're about, and sometimes you like them and sometimes you don't. And it's been a bit beset with problems this year. They've had injuries and someone's had to drop out. Will had to drop out. Oh, that was sad, because I really, really liked him. He was a real inspiration, I think, for what he had sort of come through in his life and achieved, and the way he was and how confident he was. I was really sorry to see him go. And I've been sad to see some of the dancers go, but that's the way of it, isn't it? That's how it goes with the public vote and then the judges. Yeah, and we all become ballroom experts for 3 months of the year, and we think we know better. I certainly do. All of a sudden I'm like, well, that's an illegal lift, isn't it? What do I know? Not a clue. Anyway, I am rambling. This podcast, I've got a horrible feeling, is going to take forever to edit, because I won't stop talking. What else? Okay, let's draw the winners. Well, I've drawn the winners. I did it this morning using our friend Alexa. And funnily enough, when I drew the winners, they came out in numerical order. So I did it separately. Please, there were 113 entries in the finished object thread by the end of the Halloween Day show, which was the 26th of October. So it was up to 114. Obviously mine was the first post, and I asked Alexa to draw random numbers between 2 and 114, and I did that 3 times, and it came out in numerical order: post 45, 65 and 109. So the first one, the first prize, I'm going to cut out this crinkling, is for a skein of the Atomic Ranch yarns in the Banana Boat colourway. There's the tag. And there is the beautiful yarn, which reminds me of Banana Split. And with it, I'm throwing in another of Suzanne's DPN holders, which matches the one that I was showing you earlier. It's got lobsters on it. So that's one prize, and that is the first one. And the first one was post 45. That was Reen D197, and that is Marie in Somerset. She is Ree Hector Loves Crafting on Instagram, and she recently sent me a little parcel which I will share with you in the next episode. So I was thrilled to see that she'd won a prize, and I'm not surprised, because she has made 6 pairs of Strictly socks. 6 pairs of Strictly socks. So well done, Marie. That is a lot of socks to have made. She's in Somerset in the UK. So Ree, if I don't have it, hang on, your name is not Ree. Why am I calling you Ree? Marie. If you can get in touch with me with your address, if I don't already have it. I may already have it, but just in case, send me a message on Ravelry or Instagram. Give me your address and I'll get these posted out to you. The next winner was number 65. That is Emma's Woolly Wonders. and she has made 1 pair of Strictly socks. She is Emma, but I don't know where you are. There is no location on your Ravelry, so I'm just going to be guessing where you are. And that is for the, again, I'm going to just cut out this crinkly. This is for the green lambkin yarns I mentioned earlier. It's all in its cellophane because I don't want to unwrap it. I've already showed you Suzanne's card for green lambkin yarns. This is her Fright Night colourway, and it's got some stitch markers in there too that match the yarn. It's so gorgeous, and I can see from the way that the colour is on the yarn that it looks like it's going to knit up in a very similar way to Witchy Long Stockings. It's so pretty. That is going to make you the most amazing pair of socks for any. I know it's called Fright Night, and it was for a Halloween prize, but I think you could have these for any time of year. It's absolutely gorgeous. And with that, I'm throwing in one of the Attic Spin Die little prize parcels, which has got lots of little surprise goodies in here. You've got some tea, stitch markers, a little lavender sachet, and some of their gorgeous yarn, which I shall attempt to show you in the bag so I don't have to disrupt it all. And that is from Andy and Angela at Attic Spin Die. So thank you to Suzanne and to Andy and Angela for donating those. And Emma, if you could get in touch with me on Ravelry or Instagram, let me know your address and where in the world you are, and I will get those sent out to you. And I would hope to get those sent out to you before the end of October. Okay, the final prize was post 109. She also made 6 pairs. I can't believe that. The Ravelry name is Peregrinea. I'm saying that wrong, but I've got no name or location. It's a mystery winner. And you have won the gorgeous, darling, bag by Lynn Wilcox, who donated this bag and another one for me. The bag that she donated for me is this one. My one has got cactuses on it. And she donated this one as a Halloween prize, which is just so amazing. And it is lined with the Halloween cats. And when you do this, it's a drawstring bag, and it's got handles on it. Isn't that clever? I just love it. And she's included with that a, ooh, let me open it up, a little stitch marker, and that's the little tag on it there. I've had a few messages after I showed these last time asking if Lynn sells these. I don't know is the answer. I've messaged her. So Lynn, if you've seen your email, let me know, because you've got some potential customers if you did want to sell them. And they are beautiful. I can see why people are so interested. They are really, I mean, I've got one in my hand. They are really, really well made. So that is your prize, Peregrinea. Let me know what your name is and your address, and I will get that sent out to you. Okay, moving on, and I'm going to have to be quick, aren't I, because I've been rambling. Incoming. Now, I've had a lot of incoming stuff, and I'm not sharing it all because I'm saving some for the next podcast. As it's been well over a month, I've shared everything that came in during October. I shared during Vlogtober, so I won't go into that again. I just want to share the mini clubs that I've got, and a lobster themed something I've got, and a couple of Vlogmas related things. So first of all, I wanted to show you this. I showed these things on Vlogtober, but Emma, who is Elderwood Craft, did a kind of like saw this and thought of you parcel with a few lobstery bits, and one of the lobstery bits she sent me was this tea towel with this lobster. It's just, it says "You are my lobster" on it, and it is so pretty, and I think I'm going to make it into a bag, another tea towel bag. So I just wanted to share that with you because I just love it. Yeah, so hopefully, I'm hoping to do a bit of sewing in the next few days, maybe over the weekend. Yeah, and hopefully I might sew myself up a little bag. Although I've got some more priority sewing to do. Obviously I've got Luna to do, and I've got some gift bags to make as well. And I also got the last 2 months of the Little French Meadow Mini Scheme Club, which, as you know, I subscribe to. You might not know. If you're new, you might not know. But I'm slightly obsessed with the Little French Meadow Mini Scheme Club. So you pay every 3 months and you get 2 mini skeins, a little treat, which is normally a sweet or something you can eat, and a stitch marker. And I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with it. I just love it. Like a little surprise in my mailbox every month. So the October one was called Practically Perfect. And the mini skeins are called Spit Spot, and a spoonful of sugar. So Mary Poppins reference, and I absolutely love Mary Poppins. We have been listening practically on repeat to Light Fantastic, and the cover is not the book from Mary Poppins Returns. We love that we love that film. And these are the two. So which one do you think is Spit Spot and which one do you think is Spoonful of Sugar? Either way, they are both utterly gorgeous. And the little stitch marker is a little umbrella, obviously, because it's Mary Poppins. Oh, so pretty. This one in particular, I just love. Oh, so pretty. They're going into my collection. One day I'm going to make something that's just all made with my little French Meadow minis. November was Guess the Theme, which I haven't done. I wonder if I'm too late to do it. What does it say? November Mini Scheme Club, Guess the Theme. Email your guess to be in with the chance of winning a self-striping 100 skein of this month's colours. Closing entries is the 30th of November. Well, I'm doing that then. I'm doing that as soon as I finish, and I'm not going to say what I think it is. I think I do know what it is. I've had a discussion with the girls about this as well. So, English breakfast tea was the little treat. So that's going in my stash of tea. The stitch marker, I'm going to put on the yarn in order to hold it up and show you, so that I don't display to you my horribly bitten fingernails. I know, I've got to stop biting my nails. That's the stitch marker. Can you see it? It's playing cards. And then this is the yarn. So I'm pretty sure I know what the theme is. I'm going to email my guess. What do you think the theme is? Okay, what else did I want to show you? Ah, right. So I have two enormous boxes. This one is from Lily. For the third year running, Lily, who is Nordic Stitches, and I are doing our Advent swap. We have done this now for 3 years. Mine is with her on time, which I'm thoroughly impressed with myself about, because I'm not always very good at doing it on time. And hers is here. So what we do is we exchange 24 5-gram minis, except on Sundays, which is 10 grams, and 50 grams for Christmas Day. And we also give each other a bag. And we usually throw in a few little extras as well. So Lily has gone absolutely bananas with the little extras this year. So first of all, here is my Advent. That is what my Advent looks like. It's all in this beautiful little box. I've got my little Merry Christmas card. It's got a Christmassy bell on it. And the Advent looks like this inside. Ooh, you're going to see a lot of this during Vlogmas. So I will be opening these every day during the month of December. I can't wait. They're so beautifully wrapped. Mine weren't these beautifully wrapped. Sorry, Lily. That's the danger of doing swaps, isn't it? I always think, I haven't done as well. So yeah, that is my Advent from Lily. But for the bag, this is the bag she sent me this year. How cute is that? It's so sweet. It's got a zipper on it. And the inside is lined with Rudolphs with golden noses. It's so pretty. Really thrilled to bits with that bag. It's so nice. And then she put in some tea, some fruit tea, which I cannot wait to try. I love this type of tea. Now that I've showed you, I'm going to try it immediately. So I've got licorice, ginger and apple, which sounds very wintry, and summer night, which is nipshell hibiscus apple. She says it's my favourite. It smells utterly divine. So I cannot wait to try these. They are from Soft Stream Greens all over the world. I probably said that wrong. Okay, so she sent me those, and she sent me, so Lily has a wool allergy. She can't, she reacts to certain types of fibres, which has only come up recently, so she's had to get rid of some of the yarn in her stash, which is sad, but not for me. It's worked out well for me, hasn't it, Lily? She sent me this gorgeous pair of mitts, which are made with the kind of fibre that she can't wear. Oh, look at these traditional Norwegian mittens. Oh. they could not fit me more perfectly. And I do have freakishly small hands. So usually if someone sent me something like that, they'd be flapping about over the top. They could not fit me more perfectly. I'm so excited. Yeah, thrilled to bits with those. And then she sent me a load of yarn. So I don't know what this one is, but I love it. And it feels really toothy and nice. I think I'm going to make a hat for Dan with that. And then she sent me this. It's Blacker Yarns, Woolen Spun, mohair blends. 50% new wool, 50% mohair. Again, I think that would make a lovely hat. Really love that colour. Look at this yarn. I just love it. This is sock yarn. It's really, really soft. It's a Regia hand dye effect, and it shows you on there the effect that you get. This is colour... What colour is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what colour it is. Green. Whatever, it's really fun and I really like it, and I will definitely be making some socks with that. And then she sent me this one as well, which again, I don't know what it is, but I really like it. Yeah, so I did very well out of that. And then, oh, what's this? Oh, yes. Oh, right, yeah, Phoebe opened these. And I sent Lily a little video to use of Phoebe opening these. She sent me some sea glass, because I'm slightly obsessed with collecting sea glass everywhere I go. And she sent me some Norwegian sea glass. You know what sea glass looks like, but there you go. Look, all the way from Norway. And when Phoebe opened it up, I said, that's all the way from the Arctic. And she went, it does feel cold. So thank you, Lily. I'm so excited for my advent. You should see the mess that I'm surrounded with. But I have another gigantic box. This one I was not expecting. Well, I was expecting something because lovely Annette, who I mentioned earlier, who sent me the stuff from Denmark, said, right, I'm sending you a little something, a little something. It's kind of an advent, she said. Yeah, just a little something. Now, I have not opened this yet. We undid the wrapper on it this morning, and we sort of looked in and thought, no, we're going to wait because the girls want to help me open this after school. So I don't know what's in here. All I know is it's just a little something. So Annette, thank you. You've obviously spoiled us rotten. We cannot wait to get stuck into this later, and I will be sharing with the rest of you throughout Vlogmas what's inside. So there we have it. Okay, moving on to and finally. Okay, and finally, this is the bit where I can talk about whatever I like, but usually it's just the moppy up bit at the end. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to mention is about a knit along that is going on. Becky, who is Back to Blighty from the Back to Blighty podcast, she's also dyes yarn under Back to Blighty as well, lovely yarn. She lives down in East Sussex. I have met Becky a couple of times, and we have run the Cozy Up for Winter Mail together as well. She's absolutely lovely and sporting a brand new haircut. So she has recently released her latest podcast. It's very short, it's only about 15 minutes, and she talked about some really lovely hat patterns, and she talked about a knit along that she is well, not a knit along, it's more a charity project that she has started. I'm going to donate a dodgy bag to some poor unsuspecting winner of that cow and a pin or two. So she is looking for people to join in, and she is looking for people who might want to get involved in any way that you like. It is called Knit for a Stranger, and it is about making hats for homeless people. So she's done a bit of research. She had been inspired by stories she'd seen on the news about a homeless man, and had done a bit of research and found that there were over 300,000 people currently homeless in the UK at the moment. I used to work for over 10 years. I worked for a homeless charity, so it is something that's quite close to my heart, and when I heard that she was doing it, I was happy to help spread the word and join in a bit, because it is a big problem at this time of year as the weather gets colder. There are a lot of issues around it, but she had contacted her local shelter who offer a drop-in service over winter, to see if they might appreciate any hats for the people that come in, and they were thrilled to have that offered to them, and they were really enthusiastic about it, and they would like to accept some to give as Christmas gifts to the people coming in over Christmas. So Becky is looking for people to either donate hats to that cause, or to donate knitted hats to your own local homeless shelters and charities. So it's hashtag Knit for a Stranger. I'll link to the thread on her Ravelry group below. She has linked to her 2 local homeless charities, which is Lewis Open Door and Anti-Freeze, which are based in Brighton and Hove, which have quite a high level of homelessness, as I understand it from her. But you can donate to any homeless charity of your choice, or you can pass on hats to Becky and she will pass them on to her local shelters. And yeah, so please do go along and have a look. It's a really good idea and a really good cause. Right, finally, I will be doing Vlogmas. I've mentioned that a few times. I wanted to also let you know that I have a new channel. So if you have not been watching Vlogtober, you will not have heard, but my family and I have started a family channel. It is a rather indulgent channel that we've been talking about doing for a little while. It's nothing to do with crochet or knitting or crafts. It's about our family life. We make videos about our days out, our holidays, and just anything we feel might be interesting to do. The kids have wanted to get into helping out doing vlogs for some time, so it was partly because of that. And there is a vlog up that Lilia did herself on that channel. It's called This Little Wonderful Life. Did I say that already? Oh well, it won't help to promote it twice. So do feel free to head on over there. I'll put the link below, and yeah, give us a like and subscribe. Yeah, we're really excited to have started it. We've had a lot of fun doing it, so do head on over there and let me know what you think. Supporting the podcast. I get asked this every time I do a vlog series. You lot are so lovely. I get messages sort of saying, I've really enjoyed the vlogs and just thank you. And it's so nice to hear, because I really enjoy making them, and the fact that you enjoy them is fantastic. I also get questions about how you can support the podcast. Do I have Ko-fi? That kind of thing. There are 2 ways you can support the podcast. Adverts and pins. So my pin, I will show you now. I will stand up to show you. Yeah, so that is my little pin. That's my little Drops of Wonderful pin. It's available in my Etsy shop. It's linked below. I am Drops of Wonderful on Etsy. They're £6 plus postage, and that is one of the ways you can support the podcast. The other way is watch the adverts. It's completely free to you. Obviously, don't bother with the ones that are like 10-15 minutes long. Not even my own sister will watch the ones that are 10-15 minutes long. Avoid. But if they're a couple of minutes, watch them in their entirety. I get a small amount every time someone does that, and it really adds up. And that income is what is it pays for the postage for when I post out prizes from knit-alongs, a Strictly Sock Along, or any other prize. It pays for me to reinvest into equipment, maybe design a new pin next year. It allows me to justify the time I spend preparing, organising and doing all the admin that comes around the podcast, and the time it takes just to do the podcast and edit them and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it allows me the freedom to do that, and I cannot thank everybody enough who has been watching the adverts and allowing me to earn a bit of income from doing this. It makes all the difference to my life. I cannot even put into words. So thank you very much to each and every one of you that have been doing that, and to everyone that's bought a pin. So if you are wondering how to support the podcast, if you haven't already got a pin and would like one, that's one way to do it. But the free way to do it, and it only takes a couple of minutes, is just watch the adverts. That's it. And what else? I've talked about Becky's hat knit along. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier as well, the next prize draw for the Strictly Sock Along is Blackpool. So if you have got a finished pair of socks in the finished objects thread by the end of Saturday, this Saturday, which is, what's the date today? It's 14th, 15th, so the 16th of November. That is the Blackpool show, when all the Strictly contestants go to Blackpool here in the UK. you will have made it to Blackpool and you'll be eligible for one of the prizes. There are 4 Blackpool prizes, and I will be drawing those in the podcast either next week or the week after. So if you're nearly finished, if you've just got a kitchen of those toes, or do the bind off if you're doing toe up socks, or whatever you're doing, get them finished, get them in the FO thread. Or if you've got some and you just haven't got them in the FO thread yet, get them in there. And if you've been cheating, let me know how you've been cheating, because you know that's going to add up to prizes at the end when we do the rule bending prize. So get them in. It's Blackpool this weekend. Can't wait. I'm going to go and clear up all this mess and maybe make some of this tea and definitely have some lunch. See you next week. Bye.